All right. Oh, we're back. We're back for the second episode of this series, the Chris Sain Weekly Penny Plays series. So, what we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to talk about the 3 penny plays that Chris Sain put out today on his YouTube channel. And tell you my favorites of the 3, how the chart setups look, and the whole 9 yards. But I do want to preface by saying that there is a lot more risk involved in getting into any sort of stock right now with the extreme market volatility and the unpredictability of what is happening today. So let's get right into it. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Trey's Trades, where we get technical analysis on different stocks in the stock market, as well as potential buy, hold, or sell opinions on these given stocks. I'd like to preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor nor expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt. The reason I started this channel is because a couple years back I was about $30,000 deep in some medical debt, and I was very fortunate to have some close family, friends, and mentors that pushed me to work hard and invest my money, and I'm happy to say that not only am I now financially free, but I'm doing pretty well for myself at the age of 23. So if I can pass along any of the information, resources, or tools that are given to me here in the community, make a couple people better off than they were before, that's all that I can ask for. Lastly, if you would not mind dropping a like on the video, it really does help support the channel, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this. Now today, we're going to be giving you an update on the 3 plays that Chris Sain currently has out for his weekly penny plays, and his rule of thumb, if you are not familiar, is one of 2 things. Either A, you hold these stocks for between 1 to 2 weeks, and then you sell, depending on whether you are up or down, or B, this thing runs up between 20 to 50% and you take a profit, whatever comes first. His rule of thumb for a stop loss is if you go down 5 to 10% on your stock, you can sell out, take the small loss, and then if you do see a bottom, you can get back into the stock and repeat the process that he previously stated, which is a hold for 1 to 2 weeks, or until you're up 20 to 50%, whichever comes first. So we're going to go over ticker symbol GNUS, as well as FTFT, as well as ticker symbol ZOM. I will tell you what the charts look like on all 3 of these plays, what I think is probably the best play for you to get your money into, what I think has the highest amount of potential, and the whole 9 yards. So let's just get right into the video. I do want to show you guys right now that I do not currently have a position in any of these stocks. I am in the process of transferring over my account from Fidelity over to Webull, but my current open position is in AMC, and once I do move over my positions, I will have AMC, BB, NOK, CLWD, and SNPW. I like ZOMA a lot. Unfortunately, if you've been able to keep up with the channel, my brokerage account over at Fidelity did close my positions against my consent with what was going on with the SEC, which is why I am transferring over here to Webull, but I will be reestablishing a position in ZOMA, as I do very highly enjoy them as a company, and we will talk about that as well. So let's come over to the stocks here, and we're going to start off with GNUS. Now I'm going to try to keep this video as short as I can, just for the interest of time, but we are going to look at this first on a 1-month chart. So let's look at GNUS on a 1-month chart. This is a 1-hour frequency, so each of these candles is worth 1 hour worth of trading. And we're going to look at the overall action that we're seeing here. So let me just pull up a couple different indicators for you guys to see. All right, so let me walk you through the exact indicators that I use on my charts so you guys are up to date with what I am talking about. The first thing is the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. Anything over 70 is overbought. Anything under 30 is oversold. We'll talk about what this means. I have the 200 EMA, which is this purple line right here. And this is the Exponential Moving Average. And this is just a price action-based valuation trend line over a 200-day moving period that smooths things out, tells you the overall trend of a stock. I do have the 14-day MA. I used to use the VAMA, but the MA is the next best thing. And this is the simple moving average, or the moving average over a 14-day moving period, which is just an average valuation trend line. And then the VWAP over a 14-day moving period, and this is typically used as a level of support or resistance on a short-term time frame, and you will see this more clearly once we change this over to the 1-day 1-minute frequency. So we'll talk about what these all mean, give you both some bullish and bearish indicators, levels of support, resistance, potential entry points, the whole 9 yards. So let's get right into the video. So first thing off, if we do talk about GNUS, this was one of these stocks that was targeted by WSB. They saw an extreme run up over the last couple days. They were trading at $1.47 right here and saw a peak of $3.06. So $3.06. If you were able to get into the stock during that run up, you double up your money, which is absolutely filthy. That's beautiful to see. I'm very happy for you if you did do so. But we're going to talk to you about what this looks like right now and what we might potentially see over the next 1 to 2 weeks, as that is Chris Sain's usual guidance with these penny plays. So right now, I'm going to level off at first some support and resistance levels. So we're going to come over here and draw a horizontal line, and we can see that this is a significant level right here, right off the bat. So we do have a nice level of support sitting at $1 and $0.63 or so. So this is a good level of support, and it does not look like we've currently found a bottom on GNews as of this 1 month, 1 hour frequency chart. If we change this over to the 30-minute, we can look and see if we saw any sort of bounce, and we have not yet seen a bounce off of this chart. And if we do look over here at the indicators that I have, the EMA and the MA, which is the purple and the blue line is still above the 200 EMA. And if you had invested into this company back when we first saw the crossover, right? So we're gonna hit draw right here, come over to the rectangle, and if you had gotten in right here when this crossover first happened, you'd be looking at a pretty nice run up. You would have gotten in at about $1.47. You'd have doubled up your money. You could have gotten out, rinse and repeated. But as it sits right now, I don't feel comfortable saying that you should buy into the stock immediately at market open on Monday, right? There is a potential that we do see this run up by, for some reason, let's say WSB continues to pump this stock. It is a pretty heavily shorted stock, so there's a lot of short interest, which is typically the companies that they focus on, but there's no way to know for sure, right? If you do see that WSB is pumping this, it's trending across all discords, and there is a way that you can predict this, right? So if we come over here to StockBot, if you have StockBot and you are part of a discord, you can type in !pop, and this will show you the most popular and most talked about stocks across all discords in the last hour. And we can see the GME, AMC, Fubo, Noke, Silver, BB, Apple, DK, Naked, and Tesla are currently the top 10. And if you see GNews is trending on that list, there's a good chance that this is being talked about across Reddit and discords, and there is a high potential you see a run up. But just keep in mind, there's risk involved, and we can't predict that with charts. What we can see on the charts right now is GNews has not found a bottom, right? They're still bleeding. They're still looking to find a level of support, and the next level of support that we had, which was already breached and broken down, was right here. And if we get as many candle touches as we can, we're looking at $1.83, currently trading at 178. Now this might have been a false break, but I don't like to see these long wicks right here. That's typically a sign of some pretty weak buying pressure. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different touch points here, including these even more. So we did break down that $1.83 level of support. And the next level that we see here on the charts is at $1.61. So that does seem like the safest entry point. I'll watch to see if you see a bounce off of that $1.61 range, and you should be able to find an entry point if you do see that happen. Currently being oversold on the RSI. We want to always buy our plays, especially for swing opportunities. We want to buy them when they're as oversold as possible. And this is approaching 30 on the RSI rather quickly. Now, I'm not guaranteeing this happens, but we have not found a bottom yet, so it is likely that you continue to see this bleed a little bit, unless there's a news catalyst or a pump that does come with GNews. But that's my 2 cents here. Is this is most likely going to be a pump. It's going to be something very similar to what we saw here, right? Quick in, quick out, and that's what you're going to be looking for with GNews, in my opinion, based on what we've seen on the charts and the current trends. So watch for a bounce off of $1.61. That does seem like the best possible entry point, or a bounce off of the 200 EMA. This could be a acting level of support based on some previous price things that we've seen in the past. So I do anticipate you'll see something like this. Let's say that you see a bounce off of that level, which would be about $1.68. And then you see a pretty strong candle wick confirmation saying, okay, we see a large wide bar. This is a wide bar candle for your information, just so you know. It's a big jump from so this is a good bounce, right? We see a bleed, comes down, wide range candle bar. That's typically a sign of a reversal, right? This did not play out in this instance, but more often than not, it will. So if you see a wide bar candle that bounces off either the MA, the 200 EMA, or this level of support, I would enter the trade at that point. So anywhere between $1.61 and $1.67, if you see the bounce, is the best opportunity. Now, where should you exit your trade, right? Well, based on previous price action, we know that we have a level of resistance that's pretty strong right about here at $2.23. If you got it at $1.61, you're looking at 40% run up or so. So that meets Chris's guidelines. At that point, you can feel pretty comfortable exiting your trade if you see a bounce back downward, or if you see a push above. We do know that there's another level of resistance at $2.69, and the all-time high is $3.06. So if you're looking for that 20 to 50% run up, the safest bet is to get in at $1.61. Watch for that bounce off of $2.23, unless it does push, in which case you can continue to ride it up. But that would be the best case scenario here for GNews. And to be honest with you, this chart setup is not great at the moment, but if you're looking at a 1 to 2 week horizon, we could very easily see it. Just watch the next couple of days of price action. Look for that bounce either off of the 200 EMA or this level of support at $1.61. Now, the next play that he has for us is FTFT. I've been asked so many times about FTFT. Trey, what do you think of this? And I did cover this in the past, just based on the fact that Sain does like this play. But we're going to come over here to the 1 month chart and change it over to the 30-minute frequency. And just look at the price action that we currently see on this. And this finally has had some form of a bounce, and that's good. We do see a bounce here, and off of about... I'm going to drop that level right around here at $4.29. So that looks good. This is oversold. The RSI here is 24. We did see a nice bounce, came back up, right? And this is coming off of some pretty high highs. $8.58 is the high here in the last, about a month or so. So this does have a lot of upside, a lot of decent potential. If you're looking for an entry point on FTFT, I'm not entirely guaranteeing you that we're going to see that bounce, because we do have some confirmation that this might enter bullish territory. We see that the 14-day MA has crossed over the 200 EMA, the light blue line crossing over the purple line. It is pretty much coincided parallel with the 200 EMA right now, so this could go either way. But more likely, you are going to see that this does begin to push upwards. Now, keep in mind that FTFT is going to pretty heavily coincide with what's happening with Bitcoin. So let's just read a quick summary. Future FinTech Group Incorporated is a China-based company mainly engaged in the research, development, and application of blockchain technology. The main business of the company includes a shopping platform, ChainCloud Mall, which is based on blockchain technology, an online cross-border e-commerce platform, a blockchain-based application incubator, and a digital payment system. In the application and development of blockchain-based e-commerce technology and financial technology, the company is also involved in the production and sale of fruit juice, concentrates, and fruit beverages. That's interesting. I didn't know that. But just based on charts alone, we do have this could go either way. This could go up or this could go down. If this does go down, that's going to present you with a better buying opportunity. We prefer to buy this when it's being oversold, right? Currently trading on the RSI at 49, just a hair below neutral, just a little bit. So if you can see another bounce, a double bounce, which I call a George W, that's a double bottom, typically a bullish indicator, and you can get in at 429. That's your best case scenario here. If you are not looking to get in at 429, you're looking to ride the momentum up. It is currently trading below the 200 EMA, which is also a good entry point. If you buy this below the 200 EMA, that's not a bad time to get in. Also trading below the 14 MA, so that is a pretty solid entry point overall. We look to buy this not when the momentum is extremely high. Don't catch yourself buying on the peaks. Don't buy on the rips. Buy on the dips and sell the rips. That's my opinion personally. And then if we look at some levels of resistance, right, levels that we know exist, well, you can see right now that we have a touch point here, a touch point here, a touch point here, and 2 here. So that's 5 touch points, pretty respected level of resistance. So if you're able to get in at 429 and exit at 592, if you do see a bounce, that should net you about a 15 to 20% return, which would meet the guidelines of Sain's weekly penny plays of a 20 to 50% run up, or 1 to 2 weeks, whichever comes first. If you do see a push through that level, the next level of resistance that I see pretty clear as day is right here at about $6.27. And this would net you a little bit better of a return, right? We're looking at maybe another 5% or so, 10% at the best, and that'd be a pretty solid weekly penny play. You can't complain whatsoever with that. But just keep in mind that because of what's happening in the market, I do anticipate and predict and speculate. We've seen this bleed because people are taking profits from FTFT based on other plays in the market, such as AMC, GME, BB, NOK, that are having these really crazy pumps and dumps. So just keep that in the back of your mind. I'll tell you what my favorite of the 3 so far is, but this does have a better setup slightly than ZOMA, because we do see a bounce here, right? So we do have a predictable bottom just based on these wide range candle bars that came after that bounce, and I do like that quite a bit. So just to recap, if you can get in at 429, that's pretty solid. Otherwise, if this does hold up pretty well, right here we do have quite a few candle wicks at $4.84. That is also a solid entry point, but I'd look for a bounce. If you see a bounce off of 484, test it again, see a wide range candle bar, enter your trade at that point and look for a swing up to 592 or 627. Either way, you're going to do pretty well. And obviously, if it retests previous highs, it's got a lot of buying pressure, a lot of momentum, heavy volume that is following. You're going to do pretty well there as well. Volume is down compared to what we've seen in the past, right? I think this is bleeding a little bit just based on current events, but that is how that looks on the charts. Now, ZOMA. We'll cover ZOMA really quick, and we're going to look at this on the 1 month chart and just take a quick peek at the price action. So ZOMA is actually a play that I think is a good mid to long-term play, but for the sake of what Sain is putting out, we will cover this in the sense of a quick in and out kind of play where you get that 20 to 50% run up. And if you're looking for an entry point here, what are we seeing? Well, we do know that we have a couple candle wicks touching right here at 84.5 cents. And in his video, if I recall correctly, he said if you see this touch 80 to 85 cents, that is a good entry point. And I 100% agree with him. He must know his thing about charts. He must have a basic understanding, because we do have 1, 2, 3 different touch points, and we did have a break above this level previously, and then a little bit of hovering followed by another break. So that is typically a pretty good indicator that this is a respected level. And I do think you're not likely to see this dip below 84.5 cents. And I can very easily see this retesting some, I don't want to say previous highs, but at the very least $1 in the next couple weeks or so, 1 to 2 weeks, because it has done it already, right? We tested 84.5 cents, and then the same day we saw a high of $1.03. So at that point, if you got in at 84.5 cents and you'd exited at $1.03, you'd have seen about a 20 to 30% run up. That meets Chris's guidelines. So right off the bat, we do know that is a respected level. We can see that $1.03. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7, 8 different touch points. So if you enter your trade at 84 cents, I don't think 80 cents is pretty realistic. We only have one candle wick that comes down here to about 81 cents. So that's not as realistic as 84.5. But if you are able to enter your trade at 84.5 cents and exit somewhere in that $1.03 range, and if you see a push above $1.03, ride it, because momentum with ZOMA is pretty heavy. But I'm not guaranteeing you that you're going to see this do what it needs to do, right? The market is unpredictable right now. A lot of stocks are bleeding. Most of our normal plays are getting beat up because people are taking profits to get into these WSB plays, the ones that are attacking the hedge funds, right? But if this does find a bottom, you do see some buying pressure. There's risk involved, probably a little bit more than we've seen in the past with all 3 of these plays, right? Because it's not as predictable. But based on the charts alone, we do see that respectable level. So 84.5 is a good level. We do have a pretty large gap between the 14 VAMA and the 200 EMA. It is closing down a little bit right now. It has been bleeding, but we do try to buy as close to the 30 on the RSI as we can. And this is pretty rapidly approaching that, right? We're at 43 right now on the RSI. So the risk is not super high. We see this respected level. We see it bounce off that respected level. And I think there's some pretty solid potential there. So in order of my favorites on the 3 plays, I am going to have ZOMA as my number 1 based on chart setup alone, followed by FTFT based on chart setup alone. We do have that known bottom out bounce, a good entry point. And my last and least favorite is easily Genius. We have not found a bottom of this play yet. This is not predictable yet. Just based on what we see, you know, there is potential that this continues to bleed for a little while. If we change this over to the 30-minute chart, the 200 EMA is slightly higher. You might see it bounce there, but more realistic is going to be this 1-hour chart, in which case the 200 EMA is actually trading below what we see here as a known level of support, and there's just more risk involved here because we have not found a bottom. So if you're going to get in the Genius, watch for a couple days of price action. Watch to see some sort of trend reversal because we have not seen it yet. That is pretty ugly red candles, and we do see quite a bit of weak buying pressure. Second favorite, FTFT. We have a known bounce. This is coming up. Volume is still relatively low to compare to what we've seen in the past. We are looking for an increase in volume as volume drives volatility and volatility drives higher price valuations. So this is my second favorite, but easily my favorite of the 3 is ZOMA. Volume is down. We're going to be looking for an increase in volume. It's got the lowest overall price, so the most run-up potential based on price. At the end of the day, 1 share is 1 share, and if you can get in 100 shares into ZOMA and watch a run from 84.5 cents up to $1.02, the potential is higher, and the overall increase in price is not as much. So if you've got 100 shares in, let's say, FTFT, you're going to need to see more of a run-up, which is just not as possible, you know, based on what the volume is looking like. And especially Genius. I think all 3 of these have potential, but, you know, Genius is definitely the ugliest of them all. A lot of red volume. This does look like a pretty picture-perfect pump and dump. I can see them doing something here in the future, but just based on the charts right now, that's my sole predictor. Genius does not look like it has a lot of potential currently. And that is what I've got for the video. So if you enjoyed it, please drop a like. It really does help support the channel, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this. And lastly, I have an affiliate link in the description box down below for Webull, which is the platform that I'm using right now. It is a great brokerage account that allows you to trade in the extended hours starting at 4 a.m. CST. If you use my link, you'll receive 4 free stocks with a $100 deposit, 2 once you open the account, and 2 once you deposit and get your $100 verified. I will receive 1 free stock. Great way to support the channel. If you're not interested, that's totally fine. I don't care, my friends. Honest to God, I'm just glad that you're taking the time to watch my videos. So that's what I have for you guys today. Mad respect to Sain, who I consider to be my favorite finance and investing YouTuber out there. That is what I have for the video. If you enjoyed it, I'm happy to hear that, and I'll see you all next time, my friends. Peace.